trying to destroy this world. So I did a little grade school trick to break down what hate is. I took 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 8, and I just applied hate in replace of love and charity. So naturally, it's going to be the opposite, right? What love is. So let's break it down. Hate is impatient. Have we ever been in a hurry to get something done? Don't that make us rush? And when we're in a rush, don't we tend to lose rationale? We short-tempered. We don't have time for anything that's holding us up. Let us be late going to work in the morning. All of a sudden, we say some things behind that wheel that if we had it in the camera, we have some repenting to do. We all been there. We might not say those choice words, but we thinking it. And also, we want to talk about the lady in the car next to us, the guy in the big delivery truck, why he got to hold up, why the bus got to stop and pick up those people, why the emergency lights. Also, you notice everything when you're running late. But who fault is it that you're running late? Who didn't wake up on time? Who enjoyed the 4th a little too long last night? So you got to ask yourself, how did I get in this predicament? Sometimes we don't hear our alarm clocks, and God don't wake us up on time because maybe we missing something. I remember the time that I was late for work. When I first started my job, I think, oh, Lord, I'm in trouble. I said, I've been on this job for a couple months, and here they're going to put this on my record. I'm late. And I show up 30 minutes late. Get there, my boss said, asked me what happened. I said, I overslept. And he's like, wow. He said, usually, what time do you come through on Highway 51? I was like, usually about 7:30, 7:40. At that time, a horse ran out in front of a car, struck the man, killed him at Fike Road. I was like, wow. He told me that. I was like, okay, maybe the good Lord didn't want me up so early, because I would have been in that line. I might have been the car that got hit by that horse. So sometimes, God is looking out for you. But when we're impatient, usually we become a little irrational and short-tempered. Hate is unkind. We all been unkind a few times in our lives. We all talked about somebody. We all put our mouths on somebody, as some people like to say. And we try to justify our action and where we're coming from, because I don't do that, this and that. When, how do you know so well about what they're doing if you don't have a little expertise in it? So we all been a little unkind, from our mouths to our actions. Sometimes we go our way not to speak to somebody, not to engage with them at work, church, or even our own family. And it gets real sad when you avoid your own family members. I know it was some awkward moments for some people across this country when they got together with their family and they saw their cousin, brother, or sister they ain't spoken to in a while. And that's a sad state right there. When you let hate fill up your heart that much where you don't speak to your loved ones. It does envy. We all been a little jealous. We all looked at somebody and like they nice car that's shining and got the rims and stuff on it. But you ever stop and ask them, how much their car note is? Or the precautionary things they have to do to keep those rims protected before they go to bed? I wouldn't want to worry with that. I like being able to crank up, turn off my car, hit the alarm, and go upstairs and just chill. I don't have to peek through the window and make sure my rims are still there, or have that big old blue light going across the dashboard. I think apparently it'll laser off your hand if you try to steal the car or something like that. They have to buy a more expensive alarm system, and they have to worry about their car. They worry about their car more than they do a human being. So when you envy somebody, you gotta put yourself in their shoes for a second, and you want to envy them. A lot of people like, some people like to throw things in the face like, I got this degree, I earned this and I earned that. I tell everybody, college ain't for everybody. Amen. So if you want to go to school, that's on you. It's a lot of hard work that goes into that. The degree that hangs up in my living room did not get there by accident. I had to wake up at 6:30 every morning, and I hate mornings with a passion. I had to wake up 6:30 every morning to drive to the University of Memphis and take my classes, do my tests, study this and study that. And then once you earn that, and Ken, you know what I'm talking about, once you earn something, it feels so sweet. But it took a lot of hate to get there. I knew you hated taking that test, study those long hours. But the reward, you love that reward when it comes. So that's a perfect example of hate and love coming together. You got to do some things you don't like to get to somewhere that you're trying to reach to get to your next goal in life. And then you got some people that want to dare look at you and be envious of you. Put yourself in, help me. And then trust me, if I'm up here, I'm going to pull you up there with me. So trust me, those who help a person get to a goal in their life, they don't forget it. If they got God in their heart, they won't forget. And they're going to reach back and give back to you, or they're going to pull you up with them. Right. So that's why, when we have our football players, our entertainers that make it successful, they feel like they have to take care of their whole community. That's not their responsibility. They don't have to go back and take care of the whole hood. The hood need to be there for that person to make sure they stay up there, keep their heads straight, so they can create businesses to open up jobs and opportunities and not give you handouts. So we gotta be careful with envy. Hate does boast. Now I just talked about athletes and entertainers. If you turn on television, they tend to boast these days. I look back in the 60s and 70s, look at athletes like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali. They were political leaders. They led the black community. They used their power and influence to try to better the black community. Our athletes today use us to better them. You got to buy the new Jordans, the new LeBrons. We put money in their pocket. And I know they give money to the boys and girls because they do a lot of things worthwhile in the community. But these young black men and women need a voice of reason. They need some tutelage. They need avenues, jobs created for them, but they don't have that. You know, it seems like they go out there, they work for field night, pump jerseys, new gym shorts and all those things, putting more money into that machine's pocket. But I look back at those athletes in the 60s and 70s, they came together and assembled in a brotherhood to build a community. They were standing side by side with Dr. King, working with him to better the community. But now we just got rappers and athletes who like to pop they shine. And the kids grow up looking at that and envying that. And then, if they can't have it by getting money, guess what they're gonna do to try to attain it? Hateful things, like pulling a gun out on somebody, robbing somebody. When you stand in the line to get your new LeBrons, and if you stand in line to get these shoes, most likely you got $200 on it. So a criminal thing, I'm gonna be smart enough to bring my gun and take that $200 off of you. But it's been a few cases where the people in line shot back because they knew they had to guard the money that they had to go get these shoes with a gun. And that's a sad state in our community, that we let things like that dictate what we want and what we try to do. All because we pop on these television shows, Love and Hip Hop in Atlanta. I feel sorry for the city of Atlanta. It seems like every show that they can possibly make for the black community is based out of Atlanta. From Love and Hip Hop to Real Housewives. I think they even got a hair design one down there now. And they don't put our black women in a positive light. They make y'all look like y'all vindictive. Y'all just spiteful and y'all want to fight all the time. Hey, it makes for entertaining TV. I grew up watching All My Children, where it was a script written where Erica Kane, you know what she was going to do. Yeah, I know about Erica Kane. You know what she was going to do from week to week. But now they're using real women, per se. And these little girls grow up and they want to be K. Michelle. Because, ooh, K. Michelle from Memphis, and they're proud of that. So they think that's how they need to act and behave. K. Michelle doesn't talk about how she went to college and how she got educated. She puts out this era of, I don't even know what to call it. I guess the word they like to throw out is ratchet. And this ratchet behavior, girls grow up thinking this is the standard. And the saddest part is they don't really have strong women in their lives to correct the behavior in the house because mama's the one watching the television show. Mama's the one running to tune in and look at it and laughing at it. So they getting mixed messages. Is this okay? This is where I'm supposed to grow up and behave? So, and as you know, that makes for some hate-filled relationships out there. Hate is prideful. You know, you stick your chest out, you can't be wrong. And once you stand up on your principle and don't let somebody else get their thought process in, if it gets a little volatile, and these two people going against each other on their principles or principalities, next thing you got people who care for each other, who love each other, been there for each other, turning against each other. Sometimes, in most cases, it's husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend. Sometimes it's brother and sister in Christ, where you've been there for each other all this time, but you let pride get in the way. So they need to talk to one another. Put that pride aside, because pride quickly turns into hate. Hate does dishonor others. You lie on somebody, you put them down, just so you can get your agenda across and make yourself look better. Sometimes you just out to make yourself look better, and you just, what would you want to say about somebody to make yourself feel better? And this turns into today with this social media, that Facebook, that Instagram. I'm old, so I'm going to run out after Twitter, but I'm sure there's some other devices out there with social media where people they present you this person. And this is the person that they want you to believe exists in this world. But then sometimes to fulfill their agenda, they'll attack somebody else and put down other people just so they can feel good about themselves. They dress a certain way, act a certain way, knowing that that's not the person that they are, just so you can get some likes. And we all done some things in desperation to get a few likes. You know, this past weekend was my 6th anniversary of my weight loss. And I could have just simply wrote a status that I lost weight 6 years ago and kept it off and da-da-da, this and that. But I used my adorable niece, Maya, because I took a picture right here, right about there in the church, when I was over 300 pounds holding her. And I look back at that picture, it serves as inspiration. So I took that photo from about 2007, the one I took with her on July the 3rd, holding her up, and put them side by side. And I'm proud to say I got over 200 likes. That's about the most I hit. I'm reaching Hadassah Johnson numbers right there. And my friend Hadassah can pull like 300 likes just by blinking her eyelashes. So I don't know how she does that. But I got 200, so I'm proud of it. But I had to take a look and see that most of the people that liked it are people that have been around me most of that time. They're genuine, sincere likes. I even saw Sister Paula Lewis on there. Thank you, Sister Lewis. So, Brother Boy gave me a shout out. It's people that have been there through my journey. It's not people who are just facetiously liking my picture. So I challenge anybody out there on Facebook, yeah, put your shine up there. Enjoy yourself for a moment and for a second, but make sure it's from a genuine place. You're not doing anything where, you know, it's too revealing. You're bending over in front of the camera just so you can get a few likes and a few clicks, and putting silly stuff up there, silly rhetoric up there. Because if you have to hide it from somebody, one person, then it's something that you shouldn't have up there. You have to hide it from one person. Hate is self-seeking. That goes hand in hand with that. But what if you're self-seeking in a relationship with somebody? Have any of us been in a relationship where we were with somebody who was selfish, and we didn't know it at the time? You never know it at the time because you fall in love with this person. What they do is they lure you in with the gifts, with those sweet words and sweet gestures, and as you know, you pulled in and you hooked on them. And then their true colors start to show after a while once they think they got you hooked. And as you know, you might have said, I do. You might be 2 or 3 kids in deep. And as you know, you feel like you're stuck in that relationship with them. And they hold things over your head, and they hold things against you. That's not love. That is hate. And don't ever get it confused when a person is that selfish and just looking out for themselves. Hate is easily angered. And that goes back into relationships. That person is like a ticking time bomb. That person, everything makes them short fuse and sets them off. And I'm guilty of that in a different aspect of life. Anybody at this church that's been here long enough know I believe in parking spots. And if you park in my spot, I'm going to come say something to you. And I know we don't have official parking spots over here, but on Wednesday night, I always park there. Sunday, I always park over there. Don't take my spot. I got that at work. Don't take my parking spot. At the University of Memphis with 20,000 people, yes, I had a parking spot. Don't take my parking spot. I get there, you see me pulling there every day, that becomes my parking spot. And if you take my parking spot, I'm going off. And another pet peeve of mine is if you park on the line or double park. Stop being so selfish. Other people got to park too. And I will park close to you. And we'll both be wedged in. If I have to get out through my passenger door, I would do that for you. So you can come back and see, man, I parked over too far. So yes, I'm just that generous. But that's my little mindset. So we all get angry at times. And yes, I do it out of hate. So I need to better myself and but I'm trying to help the next person, figuratively. So with me saying that, yes, hate does keep records. We all have, if we ever throw something back in somebody's face, that I did this for you, you didn't do it out of love. You gotta put yourself in check right there.
Amen.
And another I know I hate worse than when somebody like to throw back in the face what they did for me. I will go back and get said object and hand it back to you. Obviously, you don't want me to have this because you're still thinking about it. So I know I got some loving relationships within this church that I know a lot of people, when they've done stuff for me, they have honestly forgotten. Like Sister Cheryl Greer, that woman cannot keep count how many times she's cooked for me or made something for me. But I have, my stomach has, for sure. Sister Dawson, when she gives me all that stuff from Nike so I can go work out, she does it from the heart because she forgets half the time she gave it to me. So I can say that about a lot of people in this church who have been so generous and so giving. But we all got those folks in our life where, it seems like they keep an itinerary list of what they did for you. That's not out of love, that's out of hate. Hate does delight in evil and does not rejoice in the truth. Hate does not protect. As we saw in Charleston, 9/11, and some of the other events that I listed. Hate never trusts. Hate never hopes. But here's our 2 things that are going to give us hope at the end of the day. how we know hate will never win. Hate never perseveres, and hate always fails. So we look at legendary groups of hate like KKK and other groups like that. They have dwindled down in power over years because even some of the people that were participating with them, it takes a lot of work, a lot of effort to hate. The same dedication that you give towards love, you have to apply to hate. They're equal emotions. They take the same thought process, the same attention to detail, the same effort. Like when somebody writes that love letter, you got somebody who go out their way to write a manifesto of hatred towards you so you can lose your job. They'll take the time to send that email to your boss so you can get fired. Just like somebody would take time out of the day to say they love you. They'll take time, they'll drive across town, across state lines from North Carolina to South Carolina, sit through an hour of a Bible study to pull a trigger. Just like if a guy who's falling in love with a girl and thinks she's pretty, come to church with her a couple times to invest in that. Same attention to detail. I'm sure we are driven across state lines to meet that special someone or to hook up with that special somebody that we call ourselves falling in love with. Love and hate got the same type of dedication and effort. So, as one of the brothers can kick back up at verse 8 for me.
Verse 8?
Yes, sir. We're still in 1 Corinthians 13.
Love never fails, but where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away.
Hold your point there. So basically, we talked about leaning to our own understanding and our own opinions earlier in Bible study. You know, we all grow up, learn from people and experiences in our lives, and that shape the person that we become and who we are. But one thing that never changes is the word from God. And Jesus, when he came down here, spoke and taught, and then what Paul taught after Jesus rose on that third day. That never changes. So when a person that feels this way about you one day, said all this about you one day, their opinion, their feelings about you can change. The person that loves you can end up hating you. The person that hates you can end up loving you. I use I only can talk about me because I know me the best. And I would use my friend Adasa as an example. You know, and she's my best friend now. Now, about a year ago at this time, she was a stranger. It's amazing how things change over time quickly. Before that, I think we had an eye-rolling relationship. You see me, I roll mine, and vice versa. Now, we both were in the gym trying to better ourselves, losing weight. She lost over 100 pounds. I'm seeing her do this. I've been down this road before, so I'm like, man, that girl's really putting in some work. But I can't stand her. Now, the reason why I couldn't stand her, because I went to speak to her, and she was kind of standoffish towards me, and kind of mean. And I was like, okay, so, because you're cute, don't mean you all that. So we had a nice conversation. Even mentioned the church. And she said she was going to come visit. And never heard back on that again. So I'm thinking, like, okay, she can diss my church. I'm like, forget her. Now, the reason why she didn't care too much for me, because I was bragging, boasting on my photography skills and what I can do. So they'll tell me about this girl that take pictures and everything. I'm like, man, her rinky-dink camera, the skills can't compare to me. I didn't know she was sitting in the sauna at the time. So she heard everything I said. So her first impression of me was, I was a big head jerk, which I can be at times, I'll admit. So here we are. This is what she sees with me, and this is what I see with her. But I don't know, gotta check the Facebook timestamp. But I went up to her one day at our gym and offered her a ride. I don't know why. We don't talk, we don't know each other. I didn't even know how to pronounce her name at the time. I was like, brother boy, I was gonna call her Rachawa or something. So I didn't know how to pronounce her name. I just knew she was putting in work. She was putting in the effort. And something in my spirit told me, go offer her a ride. She turns around, only left to go, yes. Like, do you see who's asking you for? I said, in my mind, like, I'm offering you a ride, me. Out of all the people in this world, me. And you saying yes. I'm like, okay. But then as I'm leaving that day, I'm thinking, oh Lord, this girl gonna be in the car with me alone. I'm like, oh my goodness, I gotta be on my best behavior. I said, I hope she didn't think I'm a creep or this and that. It's like, we won't even talk to each other. So I pick up that day, and we started to talk, had a good conversation. I'm like, this is going well. It worked out. So this went pretty well. As you know, I'm training her on a regular. She put in the effort, and more weight is coming off. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, this girl is like needing this next step, hitting the weights, and so she can hit her next goal. And when she hit her goal in in September, it was a beautiful occasion, and she celebrated with the people who helped her get there. And I was invited, off of just 2 months of work. So God works so fast and amazingly in your life that He'll put the right people in your life out of love to combat some of the hate that you deal with. See, God ain't gonna put more on us than we can bear. We all know that. So when you got that relationship or that thing going on in your life that is heavy, weighing you down and it's hard, He's gonna send you some relief. He's gonna send you escape, and it can come from the least likely place that you would ever think of. And that's where my relief came from. I hope I've been relief for you, Hadassah. So one thing I want to encourage us that when we learn to combat hate, we must learn how to love. How do we exercise love? We must learn that we can't control everything. Usually you end up hating things that you don't understand, that you don't know, but that you can't control. You can't control your mom, your dad. You can't control your brother and sister. And I'm sorry, moms and dads out there, you can't control your children. And you end up getting mad at them to the point where I actually heard some parents say, I hate my child. That's one of the worst things you can ever hear. And it makes the child need to stop and take a look in the mirror and reflect on themselves. How did you push your mom and your dad to say that? It's really sad when your mom says it. Because she gave birth to you. She gave a part of her body to bring you into this world. And you got your mom saying, I hate you. That's a sad, sad state right there. And I've seen it reverse with children have spoken out against their parents and said they hate them. We talked about in Ephesians 6, I think around verse 4, it tells fathers not to provoke their children. And mothers need to take encouragement from those words as well. Don't provoke the children to wrath. Because sometimes, especially when they're young and innocent, and they didn't actually be in this world, and you mistreat them. A child, know they're supposed to love you, but why you keep doing hateful things to them? And the parents sometimes think to themselves, I did everything for you, been there for you. Why are you so disobedient? Where's this coming from? So we need to sit and communicate with one another. So another way to exercise love, we have to encourage and not discourage with our words. We like to talk about people when we think they're doing wrong. We love to run to everybody and gossiping. It's kind of fun gossiping. Just, ooh, I thought that too. I can't stand her. Ooh, get on my nerves and all that stuff. That will get a crowd quick or keep a conversation going longer than that. Man, I'm so proud of our sister. Man, she passed that test, and now she's going on to the next step. We ain't gonna talk about that too long. We ain't gonna talk about, man, she lost 100 pounds. No, she lost 100 pounds. I bet she got that surgery. She did it. Now the conversation gonna go longer. She couldn't just go to the gym and do it. So, and I heard my name brought up in certain circles about I'm on steroids and all that. I said, that's so flattering. I look like I'm on steroids. I'm like, thank you. Man, that's a huge. I'm a guy. God's ego is different from a woman. So, and we must learn from those who traveled down the road before us. If someone loves us enough to come to us and say, I've done this before, I know how this is going to end, they can put themselves out there on the line, indict themselves on their past, on some of the things they've done wrong. We need to open up our hearts and minds and listen to them, because that is true love. When somebody can correct you out of love and put themselves on line. There's a way to come to people. We talk about Matthew 18, starting at verse 15, when you address a brother who's sinned against you. There's a way to come to talk to him and tell him, I know that hurts me because I did this to my wife, and I saw what this did to our family when I did this. When you come to, because you come to somebody with a pious, righteous air about you, nobody wants to hear from you. Because you think, I never do anything wrong. So as soon as you come to people like this, here he come again. Here she come again, wagging the finger. Come off as a person who's wagging their finger all the time. I know the most effective teachers I had in my life in the classroom explain to us how they learned the process, what the mistakes they went through before they got it down, and before they learned how to do their craft. So I know you're human. I know you make mistakes. So come to me in a way where we're all afflicted, right? That's what the Bible says, brother, we're all afflicted. So we got to come to each other like that. I know what you're going through because either I've been hurt by this or I've done some hurting before. And then you can talk to your brother and sister. So you travel down that road and you see somebody else about to head down that path, be a cautionary tale to them. Put on that little orange vest and be a cautionary tale to them. We have to grow up. We have to do some maturing. So as I say that, Brother Boyd, can you pick back up at 1 Corinthians 13 at verse 9?
For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when
Keep going.
But when completeness comes, what is in part disappears.
Continue.
When I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. But when I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me.
Okay, and continue at 12.
For now we see only a reflection as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known.
One day we're going to come face to face with our Lord and Savior. And, you know, the beautiful part is we come face to face with him before we even die. Because he told us in this 46th parable, we never know when we're going to encounter him, when we're going to come across him. Is he that homeless guy begging for food? Is he the one incarcerated? He's the one in the hospital bed laying up right now. And sometimes we get too selfish that we don't take time to help others, check on others, to see about us. Because we worried about me. And then we end up turning against the world. Now, that's not hate, but it's a hateful act when you become that selfish. When you can't take time to check on your fellow man to see how they're doing. Because it's all about you. You're just worried about yourself. And you know you have some brothers and sisters in Christ going through some tough times, some trials and tribulations, and you just shrug your shoulder. Or you got a literal brother and sister, relative, that you don't go take the time to check on, just to see how they're doing. Like I said earlier, I know there's a lot of people at functions yesterday that ran across people who they're blood related to, maybe even used to be close to, and they're a total stranger. You know, there's nothing worse than falling out with a brother or sister or your parents or your child, things like that. And most of the time you end up forgetting when it started over. But you just know I'm supposed to hate this person. I'm not supposed to like him. I'm not supposed to want to be there for him. So when are we going to grow up and put aside the childish thing, be the bigger person, stand an olive branch, and do your part, apologize, and tell them that you love them. And if they can't accept that and don't take that, then you just back away from them. You know, I did what I was supposed to do. I try to do right by them. And be amazed how that olive branch eventually is going to be picked up and they're going to bring it back to you. Now, I must warn you, some people might swing the branch at you because that's just what they got in them. Some people are just some hateful people. But a song might snap it in front of you. But a song be like, let's plant this and see if we can have an olive tree at the end of the day. Because I need you in my life. I need you. And they will come to you in a sincere way where you'll feel it. It'll prick your heart. And my last point of exercising love, we must have more loving moments than hateful ones.
Amen.
We all going to fall short. We all going to make sure, like I said, let me go out there right now and see somebody double park. Boy, you know, the side of me going to come out. And let me pull up on the lot, and Sister Taylor, I'm talking about Sister Virginia Taylor, took my parking spot. I ain't gonna say nothing. I respect her and scared of her too. But I'll be thinking like, she knows I'm parked there. She was gonna take my spot. But we all got our moments where we get a little hateful. We get a little jealous, we get a little envious. We have time when we boast. You know, we pump our chests out. You know, we feel good about ourselves. We all gonna go down through those little trigger roads where we don't exercise love all the time. But we should try to make sure that we consciously practice love to one another, love on one another, encourage one another. You know, instead of saying something bad, hold your tongue and say, what can I say to make this situation better? How can I encourage my brother or sister to do better in their life and be there for them? You'd be amazed how kind words stick with a person. Encouragement stays with a person, but hateful words stay, especially when they depend on who they're coming from. You know, I brag on my mom all the time, but it's been a couple of little jabs she's taken to me in my life that have stuck with me. But since I know my mom loves me, it did encourage me to do better. But I thank God that he made me the way I am, where I can take words to encourage me. You tell Brother Thomas Sells he can't do something, I got to prove him wrong. I got to show you that I can. From teachers and administrators that had come through my life who challenged me and doubted me, to my mom and dad who said some silly stuff. And all I say in my mind, why did they say that? I had so many people tell me I couldn't lose the weight. Why you doing this? Or why you doing that? Or your arms are still jiggling. You still got breasts. Like, wow. So I was having about 40 pounds of weight loss, but okay, this is the next target area? Okay, let's get that corrected. And when you get that corrected, they point out something else. Then when they run out of things to point out, guess what? God removes them from your life. But they just got used. The trick is on them. Because their words point out what you needed to work on. And you made yourself better. And all I could just look up and say, thank you, Lord, that that person was in my life. They said all the silly, dumb stuff they said, because it pointed me in the right direction. I didn't get complacent. I didn't get full of myself. So as I conclude, you know, we like to conclude with the 5 steps. And I kept my little grade school, elementary methods working. I decided to apply the 5 steps to love and hate. So my first one is, love can't be understood unless we know what hate is. Y'all agree? So we have to hear. You know, once we hear what love is, you know, what true love is, because like I said before, I can't speak for women, but I speak for men. We'll say anything to give it them. Anything. We'll say what we think y'all want to hear. And now, thank God for Facebook and stuff. We'll go to Facebook and check out your page and get us a game plan. We're like, okay, she likes to travel. Okay, she likes this restaurant. Okay, so next time I'm talking to you, yo, baby, I was thinking about heading to Houston's before I go out of town. I wish I had somebody go out of town with me. And guess what? She gonna fall for it. She's like, oh, you going to Houston's? Okay, I'll go with you. So where you going next week? Bahamas? Okay. I like Bahamas too. I'll just change my schedule and everything. Next you know, you just being hooked in. And you just gave us a blueprint to get to you. It's called Facebook, Instagram. So girls, be careful what you put on there, because we will use it for all the wrong reasons. So, but hey, once you speak that out there, you keep hearing what you like, you start to what? Believe. So we hope that's what happens in church. When we hope you're hearing what you like about the Lord's church. That you're coming in, you're hearing, and you start to believe, not only hear, but hear. So I wrote my second point is, you can't be appreciative of love unless you know what hate is. You can't appreciate true love, a loving gesture until you've been, I use the example of getting a whooping. Let's say that whooping has the same, it looks the same as love and hate. If you get confused, somebody's taking the belt, welling on you. If they just beating on you just for the sake of beating on you, they did not take the time to explain to you why they're whooping you. They just went into whooping you. You think this person hates you. But I paid the whoopings where my dad tells me, come here. We sit and we have a nice little talk. He explains to me what I did wrong, how it's hurting me, how it hurt him, who else it hurt. I'm thinking like, wow, that's deep. I'm crying, like that's emotional. I can go now, Dad? No, pull your pants down. I almost thought I got out. Get the whooping. Then we have another conversation explaining why he had to whoop. But I have an understanding. So I realized that, you know, there's consequences for your actions. Right? Sometimes when you do something wrong, it hurts others. You don't get others involved in your wrongdoing. I'm like, wow, okay, I'm starting to learn. And that whooping will make sure the lesson sticks. But when you just go walk up to somebody and just open hand smack them, and then walk off, or you just abusing them for no reason, the person can't understand. They understand hate now. They see hate. And then that can confuse love and hate for a person. So we have to believe a person loves us. So how do we believe? We got to talk to them so they can hear us, encourage them, and speak to them. Communication. Communication is so key. As I've been working out there in Millington, Tennessee, and there's a city going against each other with their school board and with their city council. They just need to communicate more. I guarantee they'll be on the same page. They just talk and understand where each other coming from. Love can't be valued unless you know what hate is. And value is basically putting stuff in action, so you need to repent. Truly repent of sins. That's the third step. So when you value love, you put in better action. You will give back love. You will express love that is given to you. You won't be the selfish one just taking. You're going to make sure that that person that was loving and kind enough to buy your groceries, that you might get them on a trip to the grocery store the next time. And things like that. You don't forget when they've done wonderful, sweet, loving gestures for you, because you're going to give it back. You're going to have equal value. It'll equal itself out. You don't have to keep score. You don't have to write down and tabulate, because maybe that $200 gesture can be equal by a $20 gesture from you. Maybe you needed $200 to pay your light bill, but you gave them $20 in their gas tank so they can get to work for a couple days. And that person who loves you hard, y'all even. So you don't have to put a monetary value on it. So how your actions, you start acting better once you truly repent of your bad ways. Pull away from those bad ways and start doing good. Number 4, love can't be expressed unless you know what hate is. Now, express, confess. Now, if you come down here and confess that Jesus Christ is the Son of God before you get baptized, sometimes you need to go to your loved one and express to them how you feel. Because like I said earlier, if you truly love somebody, sometimes you gotta get on them a little bit. And it's not always gonna be, you know, sugar and spice and hunky-dory and just great. Sometimes you gotta tell someone you love some hard things about themselves, but none of us are perfect. Our class back there on Wednesday night has pulled Brother Sellers aside a couple of times to tell me some things about myself, and I had to take a look in the mirror. Because like we talked about in the reading, you have to look in that mirror, face yourself. Because like I said, we're not going to literally see Jesus Christ in the mirror. When we're looking in the mirror sometimes, that's what we're looking at. Because if we have Christ in us, we have to take time to examine ourselves. So if you come to a person in the right way, and you take the time from your heart to talk to them, us, the ones that they're coming to, should have an open heart and an open mind to listen to them, to hear what they have to express, and what they're confessing. Because it takes a lot to come to your brother or your sister and confess something to them. It takes a lot. It ain't an easy thing to do. And finally, love can't be felt unless you know what hate is. And once you feel yourself immersed in that water, being baptized into Christ, into His church, you come up anew. So once we know what love is truly felt within, we can come up anew in those relationships with our love. We can put all that hate aside and start working on love. And I would like to conclude with a little metaphor that I always like to use. Y'all women folk out there, y'all like to refer to men as dogs, right? Y'all like to call us dogs when y'all can. Y'all know y'all do. He ain't nothing but a dog, he a dog. And I proudly tell any woman, yes, I am a dog. I'm loyal. I'm obedient. If you fence me in, I'll stay in my yard. If you leave that door open, I might run out. You better come get me. But at the end of the night, I always gonna come back home. But let's hope I don't get dirty while I'm out playing. But as we talk about men being dogs and just dogs in general, had me thinking, us humans are a lot like dogs. You can make a dog obey you two types of ways, through hate or through love. You're gonna get the same kind of reaction from the dog. If you scald it, abuse it, beat it, not feed it, it's going to find some way to just be dedicated to you, give its all to you, trying to please you. So it looks like the dog is obeying you and loving you, but that dog is really a ticking time bomb. Or it might just wither away and go away. But if you raise a dog in love, kindness, nurture it, the dog will be loyal to you. Even been some cases where dogs been left across the country and they found their owners states away because that love was there. They found a way back to each other. But even sad and unfortunate, some owners have died. And when the paramedics showed up, who was right by the owner's side? That dog. Because that dog had love. Now, if you beat the dog and abuse the dog and you die, that dog was getting on out of town. But, yeah, so sometimes, being compared to a dog ain't a bad thing. So let's try to use love out there for one another and just see what the results we're going to end up getting. I guarantee you're going to be pleased a lot more than you're disappointed. I thank y'all for listening to me today, and if we can have a song.